being here. And again, happy Father's Day. We got a great show for you. I'm super excited about my guest today and even the people that's going to come on the panel. So I don't even want to waste no time messing around getting them up here. We're just going to get them up on the stage. So let me get my man up and we're going to start rocking and rolling. There he is. Walt Talks. What's up, bro? How you doing?
My man, what's happening? How you doing, sir? Happy Father's Day to you.
Well, happy Father's Day to you, and thank you for
man.
being on the show today. Look, I'm about to say when I'm looking at you, like, are you at the golf course? Are you out there
well,
playing?
You know, man, it's cool and dreary and wet here, so virtually I'm playing golf right now. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Yeah.
I love that backdrop, man. It looked like almost like you're a commentator out on the green. I'm waiting to see Tiger Woods or somebody hitting a tee shot, you know.
They got me today because when I came home, there was a rain delay on the and I hadn't watched any of the US Open. I've been kind of following it, you know, through links and stuff.
Right.
But I get home today and there's a rain delay. I didn't realize it was a rain delay. So I'm looking at Tiger Woods limp around the golf course, and I'm sitting there saying, "Wait a minute, man!" And then they showed it was the 2008 third round of 2008. Yeah, when he played with the broken leg, man. But I'm like, man, I miss my man playing. So yeah.
Yeah, that would have been the final round that I was watching. I did the same thing. I was checking it out, and they're playing at Oakmont this year. And it's hard to believe it's been a whole year because I was just at the U.S. Open last year when it was at Pinehurst, and it's been already a year. It's hard to believe that it went that fast. Man.
I remember that, man.
But it's crazy because the lead right now is like 1 under. Like, so you know, and so they definitely made that course real tough where those golfers are having a hard time even at the pro level getting around that. And then with the rain, that's going to change the whole game because now you can't even do lift, clean, in place because the fact that they didn't start the round that way, so they can't change it in the middle even though it rained. So that's going to make it even tougher. So plug balls and all that stuff is well, the embedded rule still is an effect. The embedded rule, but the lift, clean, in place
is wet and thick. It's already
wet and thick.
So now it's wet. Yeah, man.
So we got a great show, man. We got a great show. So I don't even want to.
I'm excited about that too, for sure.
Yeah. So we're gonna get our guests up on the stage, and from there, we're gonna do some more talking. But again, for all those who are out there in the chat, we thank you for being here on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, and happy Father's Day to any fathers out there, and even those who have already passed on. We heavily Father's Day to those. So let's get our guests up on the stage, Walt, so we can get the guests up and have some fun. You know how it goes. So let's go.
Absolutely.
All right, we're welcoming to the show Sharon Christian. Hello, how you doing, Sharon?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
How you doing? Already
doing great, and thank you for being on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show.
Well, thank you for the invite. I feel so honored. Thank you.
Well, you're definitely and then once everybody get to know you, know why. And I see that you put as your title Diamonds on the Green Corporate. So make sure that we got that right. So we're going to have you explain what that means in a little bit, if that's going to be okay. So Sharon Christian, right? Is that, I want to make sure I get your name right. Is that Sharon Christian?
That is correct. Now you mess around and call me Sharon, then we're going to have to turn over a couple tables or whatever. We don't want that. So yes, it's Sharon Christian.
I think I speak for the both of us when I say we don't want any trouble. How about that?
Please don't flip any tables. But whatever tables you be flipping when you're online like this, it's your table. So flip all you want. Have fun.
In her part of the land, they do everything big. So I don't want any smoke.
Oh yeah, no smoke, no smoke. I don't think I'm gonna forget I won't forget your last name because of Christian. I think I get that one down. And your
Right.
first name is the same as my mom. So my mom name is Sharon as well, and she's in the chat right now. So
Okay.
for me to mess your name up, I just slapped my mom. So I'm not going to be doing that.
Whoa.
So we all good.
Hey, Miss Sharon, Mama Sharon.
But your spelling of Sharon and her spelling of Sharon is different. But we okay. We covered that.
Okay.
Sharon is Sharon. So welcome Sharon to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. So please tell us a little bit about yourself. Explain who you are, and then and we'll continue to talk with you. But explain yourself, or not explain yourself, but
Okay.
introduce yourself to us.
Okay. Well, my name is Sharon Christian. I'm the founder and CEO of Diamonds on the Green, which is a women's golf organization, which I started in 2018. Just within the last 2 to 3 years, I also launched a men's organization called Gents on the Green and a youth organization called Emeralds on the Green. And last year, I launched Fashion on the Green to give my members the opportunity to show their fashion, their golf fashion, because everybody have a different, swag on the green. So I gave them an opportunity to show, their unique fashion, golf fashion. And that's basically it. So I've been doing this thing probably about 7 years now.
Right. Wow. So look, you definitely throw a lot in it. So we got the diamonds on the green, and you said the gents on the green
Which is for the men,
for the
and
men,
then
and emeralds,
emeralds for the youth. Yes.
and then fashion on the green
Fashion on the green is for everybody. So
for
they
everybody.
a
So
runway fashion show so they can show their own little swag of golf
I
fashion.
got you. Okay. All right. So then it sounds like it's a lot of fun. Now I'm telling you that right now. It sounds like a fun. So is this open for all levels of play, or do you got to be a PGA pro or one handicap? I mean, what is it? What is it doing?
Absolutely not. This is for any skill level, anybody that want to learn the game and want to, continue their skill level, because, I can't very well exclude entry level golfers, because when I started the organization, I didn't know how to play.
Oh, okay.
Man, I was supposed to say, Jack, we may be in trouble.
I was thinking that. But go ahead.
No, it's for everybody. It's a safe place for everybody. If you want to learn the game, that's what the organization is for. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's for. And I can be a testimony that if you're really interested in learning the game, playing the game, that you can. Because again, when I started, I had no idea about how to play golf. I played every sport there was, basketball, volleyball, I ran track, but when you get a certain age, and I say season, your knees don't work the way that they used to. And I used to be my daughter's volleyball coach. So after COVID, I wanted to find something to do because I was becoming an empty nester. And the gentleman that I was dating at the time, he was an avid golfer. And when I went to the driving range, I didn't see women, and I certainly didn't see, women, minority women. So I'm sitting there looking like, I think there's probably more women that would like to learn how to play the game, but don't know how to get started. And really, it started out just like a whim. And I put something on Facebook, say, hey, I'm looking to start a women's golf organization, who's interested. And it just went from there. And I always say that I had a small vision, but God had a bigger vision for me, because it was only supposed to stay here in Texas. But as you can see, I've expanded to like 7 or 8 different states, and I have pretty close to 200 people in the organization.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Nice.
That's look, I had some questions lined up for you, but you hitting them all right there. So the inspiration, the thing was, what was the inspiration to get you to start it? And you were saying, from coaching your daughter to stepping out, coming out of the, empty nest situation, like, let me go out here and learn to play some golf. So,
Right.
when you first started, though, how intimidating was it to be out on the course? You don't know what you're doing. So did you feel like I know when I first started, I didn't want to be the slow person. I didn't want to hold the people up behind me. I'm picking my ball up because I don't know how. I'm hitting 5 times to get the ball to move 1 foot, and I'm like, so I picked my ball up. I really did. I didn't want to be that one. So did you run into that situation, or?
Yeah, but I had a great group of friends that rallied around me who were golfers. So they would take me out and teach, teach me the etiquette of it. But I also had to put in extra work by myself. So the next time I did go out there, I didn't have to rush and pick up my ball. But it's very important that you do have the motivation to want to play and learn the game. And, a lot of times, people think, when we come out there, I say we as women, we don't know how to play. So I want to change that narrative. So with diamonds on the green, and Walt, you're laughing. Yeah, we come out there being cute or whatever, but I want to make sure that when you're a part of the organization, that we give you all the tools that you need in order to be educated with the game and learn how to play the game. Because one, we're not supposed to be out there. So I want to make sure that when you step up on that tee box, that you feel like you have a sense that you belong and that you can play with just the best of them.
Okay, well, that's really cool. I mean, that's definitely a good, like I say, a safe space. I like that, a safe space for people to come out and try it. So I'm not a golfer. Is it a way I can still hang with the organization? Well, I am a golfer. I'm talking for the people in the crowd that might not be golfers. Is there a way to still hang out with the organization, or do I have to be a golfer to do
No,
so?
you don't have to be a golfer, but with the organization or with any organization, you have to know what you're getting into it for. So there's something for everybody. Like you said, if you're not a golfer, we got the fashion show. If you're not a golfer, but you want to network, we have that. We have social events. But for the most part, it's about golf. And I try to, express that to the people that's coming into the organization. Know what you're coming into the organization for. But the bottom line is to play golf, to learn it. But if you want to network, we have events for you to network. We have events for, to show off your swag at the fashion show. We have all that. So it's something out there for everybody to be a part of it.
Okay, so now I'm in the Washington D.C. area. Now I know diamonds on the green, now gents on it. So do all of the states, because and you the corporate. So corporations say we got gents, we got the emeralds, we got the fashion. So all the states do the same thing, or like do you set out the schedule, or do they create their own schedule?
So I kind of basically set like a platform or a diagram. So I have all the chapters to golf together as an organization or as a chapter at least twice a month. If they want to go outside of that, then that's totally up to the chapter president and their members. But I give them like a blueprint to follow, and as long as they follow that blueprint, I kind of give them their own little way to kind of formulate it into what they want it to be, as long as it's within the guidelines.
Okay.
Because every chapter is different. Every chapter have different members, have different ideas or whatever. But as long as they're representing the organization in a positive way, and you're giving back to the community, you're getting a name out there, then I'm totally fine with it. And all I ask them to do is golf, take pictures, post, and be positive and have fun with it.
All right. So, nothing wrong with that. So play golf and take pictures. I'm in. I'm already in. You can put me in the group. I'm already in. Because every time I play, I'm taking pictures. I'm constantly.
That's good.
Yeah. So I see
Big
in the
Jack
chat.
is my alibi.
No, go ahead. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was telling you my alibi on many occasions. Big Jack he memorializes all the stuff, so he has pictures to take. Absolutely.
Oh, I take look. I'm always building content. We got to put something out there. So yeah, definitely. So I see in the chat we got a couple. I see. I want to make sure I get the name right. It's Janine. So H, it says good evening from Diamonds on the Green, Virginia. Yes. And then there's a Donna Scott that says from the Frisco's chapter, a Diamond on the Green. So I would say that San Francisco and Virginia is in the house. And we have more people that's out there. Captain Johnson is there, Sharon Jackson, Kaleidoscope for Happiness. B is out there. So we got people that's in, and I'm not trying to beat up the chat, but I see some of your chapter members are coming into the house, so we just want to make sure we recognize them.
Yes, and thank you guys for the support. Like I said earlier, it's good to have a good support system behind you. A good circle that's keep you motivated and keep you, going in the right direction. And again, I couldn't have done this without having, Janine and Donna and Michelle, and all the chapters, all the members, because they keep me motivated, and they keep, there have been times I'm like, I want to give this up, but there have been women that came to me and said that this is their safe haven.
Oh
Having
wow,
Diamonds on the Green is their place of peace. So
gotcha.
yeah, I got to keep it going.
Gotta keep it
So,
going.
and I know it started with just the diamonds, and now it's expanded to the gents and the emeralds. So, is that because of the growth, or was it like the women were going out playing around the golf, and the men sitting at home like, wait a minute, or is it a time where the gents and the diamonds get on the green at the same time?
So let me explain how that happened. So
Okay,
yeah, so a lot of with my Diamonds on the Green members, their significant others, their husbands, their boyfriends, they were so supportive of the organization, and they were happy to see the members getting out and having fun. So I felt like it was only fitting and only right to give them something to do as well. So my Prince George County chapters, and Bill and Keith and all of them, they were the driving force in me starting Gents on the Green, because they have been so supportive. So, as you know, when you play in golf, it doesn't matter how big, how tall, man or woman, you can play that with your significant other. You can play that with your children. So I wanted to make it a family affair. So if you have your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter, all of you guys can play together as a family. So that's how that full circle came in with the diamonds, the gents, and the emeralds. So I made it a family affair.
oh no, that's awesome. I mean, really, it is awesome, and that's one thing I love about the game of golf, that all levels can play, all ages can play. It doesn't really matter as long as they can hold a club and swing a club, they can get out there and play, and a safe space to do so is awesome in a sense. And I'm sure it's a lot of competitiveness though, because
Oh,
uh,
absolutely,
I'm,
absolutely.
I don't want to put you on the spot. So what's your average, or what's your handicap range? So what are you handicapping right now?
So when I first started, it was pretty high, but I'm very competitive. So I worked at it, and now my handicap is between like a 10 or 11. You know,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I
So
shoot anywhere from 80 to 90, 95.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. So for those who don't know what she's talking about, and so the normal course is a 72. So that's a par 72. That means I shot a par on every hole, and I got a score of 72. That's about the average score. And to say they're shooting anywhere in the 80s and before 90 is saying that they're shooting just a little bit under bogey golf, if we want to look at it that way. So that means that Sharon can shoot pars, and she can shoot some birdies, and she
Yeah.
might shoot bogeys, but at the same time, she's shooting good golf. So, yeah, I'm not in that league, so I'm gonna have to stay out of maybe. Well, maybe you'll let me play with I'll dress up. I'll go out and do the
Look,
dress up.
you can play. You can play with us. Hey, we got you. Walt, we got you too. So hey, it
So,
doesn't matter if your handicap is a 57. We'll still make you look good.
hey Jack. So we can play. We can play.
Okay.
Don't get in the skins game with her.
No,
And and the word on the street is her nickname is Sandy, because she's sandbagging. She's probably more
oh
like an
yeah,
eight
yeah,
or a
yeah,
nine, right? Yeah,
yeah.
she's probably more like an eight or a nine.
No,
Yeah,
no.
look at her.
So
Look
wait
at
a
look
minute.
at.
So we've had other golfers on the show
Mhm.
before. We had Miss Kendall Jackson on the show.
Yes.
Yeah,
So do you know of Kendall Jackson?
absolutely. Kendall
Okay.
is my heart. She was one of my first recipients of our
Oh wow.
scholarships. So when she started Howard, we presented her with a scholarship, and
Okay.
just to watch her from the beginning of her college days to now, where she's graduating, oh my God, it just does my heart so good.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
we were able, to present her with a scholarship, and that's what we do with the Emeralds, because I have every chapter to adopt like a junior golfer in their chapter, so we can kind of mentor them along in their golf journey. And with
Okay.
that scholarship, we're able to help them with their green fees, with equipment, just anything that they need in order to make them feel a sense that they belong, just like everybody else.
Okay. So I want to get started on playing this golf game. I'm gonna get out there. So I'm gonna go to Walmart and pick up my clubs. Is that a good advice, or what you think?
So, what I recommend to any new golfer, don't spend a lot of money on clubs. You can always go to the pawn shop and get some because you don't want to invest too much in it, and then you realize that you don't want to play the game. Just last year, I played with Walmart clubs and hand-me-down clubs probably within the last 2 years. And just in the last 2 years, I got fitted for my clubs. So just imagine all those years playing with used clubs and Walmart clubs because it was something that I was fully invested in. I got fitted for my own PXG, so I'm a PXG girl.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Oh my goodness! Oh my lord!
man. Mm.
And Walt, I got those smoke hybrids.
Oh man! Okay, you just showing off. You just showing
Just a
off.
little bit,
Man.
just a little bit.
Just a
But
little bit. All right. It ain't
just a little
bragging if you can do it. That's great. That's
look,
fantastic. I
I come
love
a
to see
long
that.
way from the Walmart golf clubs.
Yeah,
Hey
that's
Jack. So she when you show up or when we show up, she's gonna probably look in our bag and be like,
yeah,
okay. And
you
then
don't know what he doing.
I'm sure we have her by a few years. So the fact that I have a hybrid in my bag is probably gonna be a problem with her, because I'm not hitting a 2 iron.
Look,
Yeah.
look, I
Uh,
cannot talk about what anybody have in their golf club in their golf
there
bag.
you go.
I cannot talk about anybody's golf game because I have to remember where I came from. And
Right.
again, I'm a testimony that if you really want to play the game, you know, you can. You can. I
Mm.
mean, where I started from to where I am now, hey, I
Yeah.
can play the best stuff.
Well, for
And
those, I mean, I like to play. I'm not that good, but I like to play. And
oh,
the one thing I love about the game is you can't beat it. You cannot
can't
beat the
beat it.
game of golf.
No.
So you can only play the game of golf. You cannot beat the game of golf. So it's very motivating and humbling at the same time because today you might shoot a 80 and tomorrow you'll shoot a 97 and it's like, man, the course the same, nothing changed, not even the hole locations, and it's like, wow, what happened? And it's golf.
Right.
I think it's a 4-letter word, and they
Man.
ran out of all the other ones, so they just named it golf 100%. So
So
golf
my
is a 4-letter
nickname with
word.
one of my groups is 4060 Walt.
Yeah.
Once you get ahead of yourself, it's a wrap. But let me ask you this: you mentioned I've heard Virginia, I've heard Prince George's County, I've heard Texas. Where are your other chapters located?
So we're in North Carolina, California, Texas, of course,
Hmm.
Florida,
Okay,
and then Georgia.
that's pretty
Georgia.
okay. Cool. And when you said that you recommend the chapters play together at least twice a month, you're talking about those individual chapters host events at least twice a month.
Yes. So
Hmm.
each state will play twice a month. The first, the second, and the fourth Saturday of every month. So if you're on
Okay.
social media and you
Hmm.
see pictures from Georgia, from Florida,
Hmm.
from Texas, everybody's playing at the same time.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty cool. No, that's a
Now,
good idea. Yeah, I like that.
do you get together for a annual trip where all of your chapters come together?
Yes, so we do have we call it a annual golf weekend.
Hmm.
Last year it was in California.
Okay.
And then this year we brought it back to Texas.
Okay.
So yeah, every year we have it in April where we have like a whole weekend of events. So the first night is like the meet and greet, all white masquerade. The second
Okay.
night is the golf tournament, and then the third night is the banquet. So
Okay.
next year we're going to do something different. So we're going to start our golf destination trip where all of
Okay.
us go on a golf trip. So it's going to
Out
be
of the country, I guess. Or
no, we're going to take it slow. We got to take baby
okay.
steps. Baby
Okay.
steps. So we're
Hmm.
going to Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We're
The Mecca
taking
of
baby
golf.
steps, to
No,
get
that's
No,
yeah, that. Hey,
that's
okay.
I've never, and I'm not that far from Myrtle Beach, but I've never played Myrtle. In fact, I was there
Yeah.
bowling and didn't play golf, and people
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
punching me like, "How was you there and didn't play golf?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Well,
I
"I never
love
I'll be
Myrtle
bowled."
Beach
sure to
golf.
send you guys the invite, the information.
Please.
It's April the 24th through the
Okay.
27th, I believe. So
That's great time in Myrtle Beach too. It's not too hot and it's great time. Spring, early spring. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
and you said I can have a 57 handicap and you'll let me play.
yeah, we'll just have to tell you to pick up your ball. Come on, pick up your ball, Bill. Let's go. We gotta stay keep up with pace. And I'm a marshal for one of the golf clubs, golf courses here in Texas.
Wow.
So yeah, so sometimes I have my marshal hat on when I'm playing with people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, we gotta stay with the pace, pick up the ball, let's go, let's go. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got you.
I
You'll
got
be
you.
fine.
I got you. Okay. Well, I'm feeling better now. So here's a question. I'm gonna throw it up for you. Have you seen the women's confidence and connections grow through participating in the program? So have you seen someone who was maybe introverted, shy, afraid to come out, didn't want, and then they totally changed a 180 from what you saw when they
Yeah.
first came out?
I ain't gonna call no name, but
Uh-oh. Oh,
like
oh
I
boy.
said, no, I'm not gonna call any names. Like I said before, we as women, we deal with a lot of things on a day-to-day basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with Diamonds on the Green, I want this to be their safe haven to get away from being a mom, get away from being that businesswoman or whatever, challenges you have dealing with day to day. So when you're playing with us, it is your safe haven. It is your way to let your hair down and just have fun and mingle and network with women of like mind. But yeah, I've seen a lot of women kind of flourish through the organization. And like I said earlier in the conversation, there have been plenty of times where I felt like I didn't want to do this anymore, that it was becoming too taxing. But women have come to me and said, this have brought them life. This have, revitalized their life and their being. So I'm not only doing it for myself, but I'm doing it for women to give them an out, to keep going and keep being motivated because life be life in sometimes.
You better know it. Say
No,
it loud for the people in the back.
yeah, for real.
It'd be life, and when you get on
Yeah.
that course,
Yeah.
you just get away from all that.
Yeah.
Even I play by
Yeah.
myself a lot of times, and that's my place.
Okay.
And it's become the place of peace for a lot of women.
Okay.
All right. Hey, I appreciate that. So was it tough starting the organization? Did you have any major challenges, anything like that?
Yes, one being a woman, and it's sad to say that I've reached out to some people when I first started, and no one wanted to help me. But I guess they felt like I didn't have anything to offer them because I was so brand new to the game. And now they see where I started from to where I am now, that they want to work with me. Hey, let's do something together. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not spinning the block. You have to
Right.
keep people in your circle that believed in you from the beginning and not
Yes.
those bandwagons that's jumping on the bandwagon. Now they
Yes.
see that you
Now
have,
to see success.
yeah.
Right.
So it was kind of hard, but me being the person that I am, I'm very competitive. I don't want to ask anybody for anything. If I ask you and you can't do it, okay, I'm gonna figure out a way to do it on my own.
Make it work. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. No, that's good. That's good. So what advice would you give a person that's watching tonight that's maybe curious about one playing golf or joining a group or something like that? What type of advice would you give them?
Don't be scared. Be like Nike. Just do it.
Hey, Jack, she is tough, man. She is tough.
Be like, you can't be fearful. In life, you have to do something. You just can't give up. If it's something that you want to do, reach out. We have our website, diamondsonthegreen.com. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. And if you do have that interest in learning, we got you. Don't feel intimidated because, again, I didn't know how to play the game when I first started. But you have to have that motivation and that willpower to want to learn and want to play. And if that's what you have, we got you.
I got you.
So,
And where? Oh, go ahead. Well, go ahead. No,
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. After you, Jack, please.
No, I was gonna say I was trying to figure out where did the I know diamonds. Where did the diamonds on the green come from? What made you pick that name out of all the names?
out of all the names. So again, I didn't want to attach a color to it because I wanted to be open for all women, all minority women, all women of color. So as we know, diamonds is a girl's best friend. Ta-da-da.
So
So
I've heard. So I've heard.
and then on the green, the course, the green, diamonds on the green, and
Okay.
Okay.
just that simple.
Hey, it is just that simple. All right.
And then
So,
for the gentleman.
Hmm.
so I think we just dropped your website down in the chat, and thank you, B, for doing that. So it says diamondsonthegreen.com is down there in the chat. So if
Yes.
you're interested in being a or learning more about Diamonds on the Green or helping the Diamonds on the Green, because it sounds like they got a lot of good programs going, and
Good
definitely
program.
the scholarship program and helping the youth develop and get into that, because a lot of places there is just no one, either no courses around, or it's very expensive to have those to get in those courses and play around the golf.
Mhm.
And even the equipment is expensive, especially for a youth. It's a lot. For those who don't know, it's harder for a youth because they're still growing. So even though they might get a set of clubs this year, next year they're 2 feet taller than they were the year before, and then those clubs are they're no longer good for them. So
Right.
I have well, my youngest, he plays a little bit, and I went through 3 or 4 sets with him trying to, and he wanted to keep getting taller. I'm like, I'm not buying anymore unless you are serious about this, because it gets expensive. And then it's the proper shoes and the right golf ball
Right.
and all the other equipment that you need out there to get on the course.
Mhm.
And but it doesn't really, to have fun. It doesn't really. Yeah, you don't have to have a whole lot of stuff to have fun. But most places, when you go, they want you to have a set of clubs, and
Right.
they want you to pay the green fee, and they want you to pay the cart fee, and they want all those things that come into it. So it can be challenging on the pocketbook sometimes
Mhm.
to get out there and play the game. But I'm one of those people that will pick the cheapest course around, because I just like playing golf. I don't have to play at the Pinehurst. I don't have to play at the Pebble Beaches and all of that. When I do have an opportunity to play there, I play, but I'll play on the county courses just as easy as I'll play on the big courses. So you're not limited and locked down. So I guess I'm gonna ask that too. When y'all set these rounds up, do y'all just go all over the place, or you try to pick the top courses in the area?
Well, we try to go to different courses, but because each course is different. But yes, golf is expensive. But like anything we do in life, we figure out what it is that we
Figure
want
it
to
out.
do. Like women, if we want a purse or we want them shoes, we're gonna figure out a way how to move some stuff around. But it's a lot more expensive than any other sport. But there's ways around it,
Yes.
to be within your budget.
Right.
We try to give our members the opportunity to play different courses because, like I
Mhm.
say, each course is different.
Right, right. No, I appreciate that. I like the idea. I like what you're doing. I definitely like to move around and play different courses. I don't think I would ever be a member of one course. I want to, yeah. If I'm gonna pay that membership, I'm gonna go play those other courses. So you don't have to worry about me. I'll be moving around, and I'm one of those people that do get secondhand balls. So I'll go to secondhand.com and play it again and all those other places, and get my golf ball, because I know I done donated a lot of them in the woods and in the water. So
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
so those are brand new balls that just hit in that water. So if they go in there to find mine and find others, I know they're good balls. So like so
Oh,
it's other, like I said, there's ways to get around a lot of stuff.
yeah. Mhm.
So you'll go in the woods looking for one ball and come out with five. So you that's a
Look,
win.
so
That's
I
a
say
win.
I'm going golf ball hunting. Look, I come out with my 10 balls in my pocket. I don't
That's how you
care.
play. That's how
You,
you play.
you lose one, you find 10.
And that's a
Yeah.
win. That's a win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the people that are out there with them Pro V1s, $5 ball, I'm like, shame on you. I'm
Mhm.
going to Costco's and get me what's that? What's that? What they call the Kirklands?
Kirkland.
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 Yeah, the
Yeah.
Kirklands.
Kirkland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So and Walmart, I don't even know what they got. The noodles. I mean, I've seen all those balls. So yeah, there's no shame in my game, because
Mhm.
the way I play, I can play with anything. I'm okay. I'm
And
good to
that's
go.
that's how it is when you first start out. You play with any ball that you can hit. And
Mhm.
now I've, kind of graduated to, getting fitted for my own clubs, the PXGs, and now I play with certain types of ball, the Callaways, and I'm kind of done with the Callaways now. I play with the Tylers. But
Mhm.
again, you kind of graduate through, the journey of
Mhm.
playing the game.
Okay, so a question that came up was where you located. So we know we're in Texas, but Texas is a big state.
Right.
So what area is your chapter in Texas?
So we have a chapter in Frisco, Dallas, Rowlett, Rockwall, and East Texas.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
I'm
when we
trying.
saw Frisco,
Yeah, I was
Texas,
thinking San
I
Francisco. So
was, I was.
so, so it's a Frisco, Texas.
Yeah. So we have about 4 chapters in Texas itself,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then
Yeah,
we have.
Texas is a big state, and yeah. So I'm not even going to say anything else about Texas. I'm going to leave that one alone. Uh, and then I see it said Hampton Roads, Virginia. So
Yes,
that's
that's
what's
our
up.
Virginia chapter. Uh huh.
Okay,
Mhm.
so Hampton Roads, Virginia. So that's pretty good. And so I apologize because I honestly thought Frisco was San Francisco. So
No.
I'd have been lost out there in San Fran looking for the diamonds on the
Looking for the
green.
diamonds out. You're not gonna find us out there.
Okay. Well, not yet because it might be a chapter coming
Exactly.
up
Not
soon.
not yet. Not
Yeah,
yet. Trust.
yeah, it might be a chapter soon,
Mhm.
100%. So, as a leader, president, what do they call you? What are you the? Are you the leader of the pack, or how does that work? What's the title,
My,
president?
my title, founder, CEO, but I keep that
Okay,
on the
no,
low.
no, no, and I'm with you on that. I would just want to say, so if the chapters had a issue,
Hmm.
say Virginia, and I want to pick on Virginia, but all of a sudden Hampton Roads got a problem. Is it something that you will settle, or is it that all the chapters come together? How does that work?
So in the beginning, they had access to me, and it just became taxing. I do have a full-time job, so it became very taxing where I had to try to, keep everybody together, or answer the questions, because I didn't want any of my members or any of my chapters thinking, they were, treated like stepkids or pushed to the side. So I have now incorporated advisory board where they're able to filter some of the issues or some of the concerns for me,
Oh,
because
that's
now I'm traveling a lot and I can't get to everything. So I do have my advisory board, and a lot of my chapter presidents have been with me so long where they're able to be self-sufficient.
Okay.
okay. That's good. Now, excuse me, we're YouTubers, we're Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So I know you said you have we can find you on any of those platforms.
Mhm.
So I guess are you building content or are you putting things out other than just showing the pictures of when you're out there, or do you actually maybe teach and put those videos out, or have you done anything like that?
So we do offer clinics
Okay.
for the chapters. The chapters would get together with the state golf associations or with the golf courses that they're affiliated with, and give clinics. And I have them to make videos of them, at the clinics. And even I do videos of me when I'm out there playing by myself and put it out there, because I want people to see that we're not quote unquote commercial golfers, that we can actually play.
Mm.
A lot of times, you see just still shots. You can do a prop with a golf club any day, all day in a bag. But like I tell the ladies and the men, actually show a video of you actually playing or hitting the ball, so they can see that we actually can play. And I've surprised a lot of people, and they thinking that I can't play. So, you know, I
I'm
have
just the opposite. I come
So
out there, they like, oh, he can play. Like, oh no.
yeah.
so my greatest experience playing with the lady, I love playing with women.
Mhm.
Years ago, I used to go to a public course every weekend, and I had a young lady. She would always be there in the morning, so they'd always pair us up with another twosome. And one day I'm there, she's there, and these two guys show up. And it's Saturday. Everybody's trying to get home and get the round and get home, and this golf course is packed. So when I joined the guys, shook their hands, and she came up, but she and I already knew we were playing together.
Mhm.
Of course, the guys like, oh man, this is, oh my
This is gonna
god,
be
man,
slow play.
this is gonna be all day, yada yada yada. So we're playing the white tee box. We're playing the amateur tees. It's probably about 6,200 yards, and they hit, I hit, and she comes and they start walking to the red tee box, to the ladies' tee box.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Where you going?" And he's like, "We're walking up to the." She says, "I'm playing the white tees with you guys." And she just roped one down the fairway. And I mean, they looked at me like, "Man, you could have warned us." I'm like, "Man, you deserve that. You deserved it." So
That's
when
it.
I see you, I think of you with your personality, just from what we've known, just from what I see right here, of you being that person, just like, you're gonna have to mess around and find out on your own, because you don't give them any warning. So I really I love your energy, and you just seems like you like to have a lot of fun with it. But that's a heck of an icebreaker when you can hit a golf ball well, because golf is the great equalizer
Mhm.
on a golf course and in person. I mean, like, you can't fake it out there. You either
Nope.
can or you can't. There's no
Yeah.
faking it. I mean, you are exposed on the golf course, and hard times builds character, but golf will reveal it.
Oh
And
yeah.
there
Right.
and there have been times in my golf career when I haven't been happy with who I am. But you got to pay your bets. If you can't play your way out of trouble, you got to pay your way out of trouble and just figure it out the next time you play. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
That's
the beauty of the game.
yeah.
That is the
Yeah. And
beauty of the game.
I'm seeing in the chat that Little Texas Tornado said that my town is hosting an annual golf tournament right now, and we have pros from the PGA Tour coming here too. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
So I mean, it's all over, and I know Texas is so big that he could be hosting it, and y'all could have 5 tournaments going on in the state of Texas,
State of
and
Texas.
won't even know
Yeah.
that it's happening around you. So I
Right.
was just in Texas not even that long ago, and I played in a tournament. I can't even remember the course I was on. But it was so dang hot out there, it wasn't even funny. So that was like, they don't have to worry about me coming back in the summertime. So it was in the summertime in Texas, but I'm like, yeah, it's too hot out here to be playing. So drink a lot of water if you're out there playing in the Texas. Make sure you get your sunscreen on and protect yourself. So that's another thing that we definitely encourage doing that. So Sharon, I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back, and we got some guests that we're gonna bring up on the stage with you, and have a deeper conversation about the diamonds on the green. But also it's Father's Day, so we definitely got to give yeah, shout out to the fathers that's here and those who are no longer here with us. But we'll talk some more about our fathers and celebrate Father's Day. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show.
Get ready for the ultimate live experience. Join us on stage where music, poetry, and comedy collide in a night to remember. Top musicians, spoken word artists, and comedians come together for a unique and unforgettable show. From soulful melodies to side-splitting jokes, this jam-packed event has it all. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we bring you the best of the best in this one-of-a-kind performance. Are you ready for the next We Be Jammin' Live?
All right, welcome back to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show.
Right.
Got my man Walt Talks up there, and our special guest Sharon Christian, the founder and CEO of Diamonds on the Green Corporate. And we have already learned so much about just the Diamonds on the Green, and now it has expanded. So just a little inside, I guess, say secret in that side. I didn't know about Diamonds on the Green prior to today. I didn't know. I was working with Diamonds in the Green back before I started even doing YouTube. I was doing promotional videos, and I came across them, and I was fascinated by the idea of just Diamonds on the Green. So I wanted to work with them. So I've had the privilege of working with Sharon, but never meeting her and being able to see her on a stage, anything like this. It was just sending videos via Messenger on Facebook and things like that. So I'm so happy to have her here with me up on the stage. So we're going to take a go ahead, Sharon.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you were the only one that did our videos, and even today, people are still asking, like, who did your promo videos?
Wow.
I would send them over to you, and I'm still using a lot of the ones that you did back, about 4 years, 5 years?
About 4 years ago, yeah. So I appreciate that, but they were you were so demanding on what you wanted. I said, I better back out of this thing. I'm gonna find myself in court messing around with this. That's serious. I was just playing. I was just playing around. Y'all serious about this thing. So I really didn't want to mess your business up. So I was
no, you did an awesome job. I mean, what you brought my vision to life, and it's individuals like you that I'd like to share my platform with. It wasn't the fact that you had to be an expert or anything, but I really was appreciative that you took the time out to make them, because I was just starting out. I didn't know anything about promo videos. I didn't know what I needed, but for you to, take your time out of your day to even, make them for us, I certainly appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot to me. Thank you. So we got some guests backstage, and I want to get them on the stage. Looking at someone sent the comments. I had to check it out, but let's get them up on the stage, and then we'll keep moving on with the show. But thank you. All right, welcome to the show. We got Miss Echo and Boogie Time down there. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good. How are you?
How you ladies doing?
All right.
Good.
So I know that y'all was back there. I might have heard some of the show today with Sharon. It's hard to say Sharon because I'm be saying my mom. So Sharon Christian and Diamonds on the Green. But we know today is Father's Day. So and I'm glad that you're up here, because I just wanted to. I know it's so different from Mother's Day, and we got one more, so I want to bring Miss B up on the stage. Excuse me, there's Miss B. How you doing, B?
Hey, B.
So the big thing is the huge difference between Mother's Day and Father's Day. I mean, and not. So, and I, as we go around the panel, we're gonna, and Sharon, I don't want to put you on the spot. These other ones are content creators. They're former guests on the show. So each one of them has been on my show. I've been on their show. So I would say that we're social media friends, and that's in that aspect, So, and it's still a safe space. We're not trying to put anybody on the spot and call anybody a bad child or any of that dumb stuff. That's just not what we're trying to do. But do y'all believe? And we can go around. Do you believe there's a difference in the way we look at Mother's Day to Father's Day? And I'll start with Echo, because she's shaking her head, so she got an answer. So do we, Echo, look at it any different?
I really think people do look at it differently. And I don't understand that. My dad was as much a parent as my mom, if not more so a parent. So I've always celebrated fathers, in my life. But I do think society looks at it a little differently. I think everybody, automatically is going to love their mother because they gave birth to them, But if it wasn't for the dad, they wouldn't be here either. So
That is biology 101,
I heard about
100%.
that somewhere around my school days. I heard that has to.
It definitely takes two to tango sometimes, and that's
That's
what
what
we
I
heard.
heard, man. I heard about that.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
so what you think, Boogie? What you saying down there, Boogie Time?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a difference. Unfortunately, I don't think Father's Day gets as much love. And like I said, it's unfortunate because there are a lot of great dads out there, and I think they need recognition as much as the good mothers do. I think it actually might make things better in our world if they were given that. But it's a lot of layers to it, a lot of stuff. But yeah, I definitely know it's different. Hopefully it changes, you
Mm,
know.
okay. I don't know if we're going to have any change, but I do know that you're not going to have a Father's Day sale. That's not
Okay.
going to happen. It's funny because I know Walt. He knows for sure, and he sent me a coupon from Chick-fil-A talking about free Chick-fil-A on Father's Day, and I was like, wow, yeah, that would be something that Chick-fil-A, even though we know it was fake, but it was like a free Chick-fil-A sandwich on Father's Day.
Because
So
Chick-fil-A
that's
is closed on
Chick-fil-A
Sunday.
is closed on Sunday, so
Oh, that's right.
I
There
sent
you
that out
go.
to my family.
It took me a minute. That's right. They are definitely closed
it's
Yeah,
Sunday.
closed on
Oh
Chick-fil-A is
Sunday.
closed
no.
So
on Sunday.
sending me a Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's horrible, 100% horrible. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say they get a bad rap because I know different
Nah.
fathers and mothers. It's hard to say. But I was on the show the other day, and it was like, well, all the moms who play both roles. But we don't say that now. It would be an insult if someone said about a father that plays both
Right.
roles.
Yep.
And so, B, I'm gonna throw it at you. What do you think on this subject, or where we at?
Oh, I think I have to agree with Boogie. I think the men just don't get near enough. And, I also think that's because, the woman usually is the one that spends more time with the kid. So dad's always working in most cases, So I don't know. I try to even it out in my house because I've been a mom forever. He hasn't got to be as much of a dad as I've been a mom.
Mm.
So,
And
yeah.
I'm not going. I think that, and even my mom is in there. Sharon Jackson is saying moms have more flexibility, not taken
Yes.
away from the dads, but moms wear so many
Exactly.
hats, and that like I say, it's hard to say. When you're a mom and you wearing all those hats, you say that. If you're,
Yes.
if it was a two-parent household and both of them are doing equal shares, the one big argument I know for a lot of it is uh, as a mother, you look at it. I carried the child for 9 months, so at the
Oh,
distance,
yeah.
so you get more extra
That's
because you did it.
privilege.
Your your
That's
your uh your 30 to 45 seconds don't equal to my 9 months or whatever. So let's just be
No,
for
that's
real. So
God-given privilege right
all
there.
right, so and that's why most men don't argue and they'll take their tie
In their
Mhm.
and
underwear and socks.
underwear and socks and move
Yep.
on because they didn't
Yeah.
give birth, they didn't do all of that. So
Yep.
and that's where most and they just don't like I'm okay, I'm good. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
most men, and it's being honest, and Walt, you're there, they just want peace. You don't have to give me a whole bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That part right there. So first of all, it's not a competition, and we all know that because we're all grown. We've all experienced that.
Yes.
And as any man knows that, hey man, when after taking the son to football practice, yada 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 yada, the first thing he says when he makes it, hey mom, right? So we get that. But men just want, it's not that they want equal attention, they just want to be recognized. And
Right.
sometimes nothing is a real thing. This is just me having conversations with some of my friends. So as much as it's a great idea for Father's Day to have him on the grill cooking you everything, he may just want to go to the golf course and chip golf balls today. And so everybody's different. It's a great conversation. And the reason there's so many jokes about it is because it is funny, because there is such a disparity and a difference. And that just makes a great conversation. So that's why when you say you can make a reservation, you can get up Sunday morning and make a brunch reservation on Father's Day, you'll be fine. So that's why
Yeah.
it's so funny because there's a big difference, and it's almost like a joke. And to men, at least men my age, my circle, I mean, we just kind of laugh about it. But every now and then, men can appreciate a good pair of socks or some underwear and a tie. I mean, we all
Some
need clean underwear and clean socks.
something
And
to look forward to.
golf
Golf
gift
ball.
certificates are always great, always great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Give me the
Yeah,
gift
I have
card.
a whole golf bag full out in the garage. You're welcome to them.
there
Oh,
you
okay.
go.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
okay. All right. Look,
yeah.
Diamond on the
I
greens.
want.
Yeah,
Look,
Sharon, you hear
I
that?
said it in the
I
chat.
need them. Look,
Yeah.
I'm a female
I said
doctor.
in the
I need
chat.
them.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
me a new
On
shirt,
Father's Day.
and I will get you some golf clubs. I want one of
Yeah.
them iron sharpening iron shirts. And can I say real quick, Echo? I think we're sisters tonight.
Oh, that's what's up. They both got the memo. That's how it worked right there. So I don't want to cut you out, Sharon. So what do you think on this topic we're talking about? What do you think society often gets wrong about fathers and fatherhood? I know I changed the question. So what do you think society gets wrong about fathers and fatherhood?
I don't think it's a matter of right or wrong. It's just a matter of dynamic of your household. Yes,
Right.
we give the more credence to the mothers because we carried them for 9 months, um,
Right.
and we do wear different hats. But the father, and I can't remember if it was B or Echo that said it, that the father is away from the home making, making the money, so he's not there. But I think, both of them plays a very important role in,
Oh yeah.
the household. So
Well,
I,
and
I
that's
just really think it's, how your household or your dynamic of your household is done. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll give the end of the world to the mother, and then end up giving a tie and some socks to the dad. But
Yeah.
it's just the way I think society has conditioned us to think that way.
Yeah, yeah,
We
and even
we are
even
definitely.
making a comment about the men is the one out there working. We know right now, especially
Women out there
today's,
working
it's
too.
not that's a older mentality where the woman is home with the kids and the man is out working. We know that the dual
yes,
dual
I'm old.
income household is needed
Hmm.
today, so everybody's putting in that work. Everybody's putting in that time.
Right.
To the point, even on the show, Sharon, you made the comment you was coaching your daughter's volleyball team, and so seeing a mother coaching a team is not unheard of. Where that was my thing with my boys. I was out there coaching them and this and that. So and not only coaching your own kids, you're coaching everybody else's kid that's out there. And even coaching the parents that's sitting in the stand, because that was the hardest part of me coaching was the dang parents.
I
The
know,
kids are
right?
easy. The parents is like, wow, y'all crazy. So that was one of them. So I'm gonna throw another question up there real quick, and we'll start. I'll start with you, Walt. So I'm gonna throw it on you first, and we'll work our way around the screen. But what one lesson your father or father figure taught you that you still carry with you today?
Mm.
So all y'all can think about that. Is there a lesson? And I'll leave it back up again. What's one lesson your father or father figure taught you that you still carry with you today?
So the two that stand with me today, the first one is, hey man, you got to play the hand you're dealt. You understand? That's just what it is. You got to play the hand that you're dealt. And the second one is just kind of stay out of the way or get rid of, walk away from anyone that expects you to compromise your principles or your boundaries. And that's the one that's pretty much sticking with me in my 60s. I'm 61. And you just kind of evaluate situations and you just realize, you know what? Because at the end of the day, it's easy to lighten up than tighten up. So it's just easier to just deal with this up front, walk away from,
It's seven
stay out of
o'clock.
the way from anyone who gets in the way of your peace, your principles, or walks over your boundaries. And that's those two right there pretty much hit home with me, especially today, man. Father's Day, of course I'm thinking about my old man and yeah. But those two things have stuck with me since I was a teenager, and really stick with me now. So that's where those two right there, pretty much the biggest things for me.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Sharon, I will come to you next. What you got?
All right. So my father, he's a retired drill sergeant and he's a
Mm,
retired pastor.
Surprise,
So
surprise.
yeah, so I have that A type of
That
personality.
explains a lot.
And he was a chess player and he taught me how to play chess. So he taught me, chess is like life, you know. And like you said, well, you deal with the hand that you were dealt with. Um, as a drill sergeant, they teach you not to give up. In chess, you have to be methodical about every move that you make in life
Yes.
because every move has a reaction um, to what you do.
Yes.
And I
Mm.
know you said two, but I have three. With him being a retired pastor, he taught
Mm.
me faith in God.
mm,
Always keep him first.
right.
So
Mhm.
those things have always stayed with me, and I'm not ashamed to say how old I am. I'm 57. So I I live by those things.
Yeah.
Right.
Make sure you just work with the hand that you're dealt with. Make sure that every move you make is your best move, and just make sure that that move you understand the consequences that comes with it.
Right. Okay. All right.
Good job.
Echo, you got anything for us?
Yes, my dad taught me two good things that I try to live by. And the first one is be a person of your word. If you say you're
Yeah.
going to do something, you do it, unless
There you go.
something tragic comes up. And my dad, he would take on so many things, and we would all think, there's no way you're going to go to work all day, go to that Lions Club meeting, go to the PTA, and all the things he was involved in. But if it was important enough for him to say yes, that he would do something, he
Yeah.
would keep that and he would do it. And the
Mm,
second thing was he loved to garden. And he would sit out there by his garden and I literally watched the plants grow. I mean, he just loved being outdoors and actually growing something that could help feed his family. And
right.
so I live in an apartment, but right now I'm growing some things on my patio.
Mm,
So I like to get my hands in the dirt too. So
right.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. That's cool. Now, Boogie time. We're gonna throw something at you. What you got for us, Boogie?
I have two, but the first one that he's taught me that sticks with me, especially now, it pertains to like the love life. And he would say to me, because unfortunately, I've presented some of the not the best relationships to my father, and he's kind of been, and I'm like, so he he's always taught me date someone on your level or better, because for me personally, not that people can't grow and all that, but I kind of dated people that weren't on the same page, didn't have things in order, and the whole build up someone. But the problem with trying to build up somebody is they have to also want to. You can support a mate, but they have to also
I want to
want
grow.
better for themselves, And I had to learn that lesson more than once, and I got it
Okay.
now. So
Okay.
now I realize the importance of dating someone on my level or better. What I mean? So we're always
Hmm.
growing,
Right.
and I can still do what's my instincts are to be loving, supporting, encouraging, but I'm starting at from a better, stronger foundation at this point now. So that's
Right.
something he's taught me, and I'm like, now after getting hurt a couple of times, I'm like, okay, yeah, I
Mm,
get it, Dad. I'm doing that now. I got it right now. And
mm,
just family values. Like, no family's perfect. Like, but he always says, it's my family. I'm gonna, be here for my family and all that. And I think about that too. Like, my family can get on my nerves. I'm sure I get on some of their nerves, but like, just those family values and the dating example really
okay.
stick with me a lot.
No, no, I appreciate that. That's good insight.
Absolutely.
What about
Yeah.
you, Miss B?
Well, I guess I have two. The first one, it's kind of silly, but it resonates. And he used to tell me that, when I was having a hard time and I'd call him, Dad, help, just talk to me. He would say, okay, let's start up the hill. It won't be long. We'll get to the top and we can coast back down. And by the time I was done with the phone call, I was done with the crying and I'd had a solution. And
Wow.
he was perfect about that
Wow.
every time, every time. And then
Wow.
the other one was, I'm going to be a little bit of a comedian here. When he told me to tuck and roll.
Mm.
Because if you don't, when you land underneath the canopy and him strapped to your back,
That's right.
skydiving.
I was about to say that's right. The
Crazy.
skydiver. That's right.
Yeah, I had to bring that up again. I knew it'd make Walt chuckle.
My my knees hurt just thinking about it, B.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to
The
tuck and
first
roll.
time I did it, I was 13 years old. So
Mm.
Mm.
he's been doing it since before I was born. He was in the Air Force.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most people in the Air Force don't want to jump out that plane that they're in, but I
Oh,
guess
he
if
made
you
a
have
career
to,
at it. He made a career
I
at it.
guess somebody
He
got to
even
see if the
had,
ejection seat work. Somebody got to check it. Did the seat work? I don't know. Ain't nobody
Oh
ever
boy.
tested. Oh, he got one. We got one. So
Mm.
B's dad's going to test it out for us. So if I had to throw one in there, I would say that my dad did. He shared with me to go the extra mile. No, sometimes I would try to just get. I'm a bowler. I'm a golfer. I like this and that, but don't just try to make uh, one strike. Make two strikes. Make three strikes. See yourself striking out. Get the whole thing. So if you just to the finish line, you're going to lose a lot more races. If you run through the line, you're going to win a lot more races. So you train the extra mile, try to be more than what you're striving for. And that right there, I think it was a question that came up on. I was on a show, the Sources show yesterday, and it's like, can you go more than 100%? And we always say go 110%. So that's showing that there is more than 100%. So going that extra mile and pushing yourself to go more than what's needed. And if you get that, then hopefully you'll become better than what you were striving to be. I want to be a good dad. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good citizen. So let me strive to be more than that. So that was the one thing that I definitely could say that stood out from what I was taught, and the thing that stood out for me. So I had y'all send in some photos, and I appreciate y'all for sending in some photos. So I won't say doing a rush job when I wasn't doing a rush job on it, but we're definitely I want to show this, and we're going to talk a little bit about it after I show the little video, and it's a short video. And as soon as it's over, we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the photos that you sent me. All right. So let's play it real quick, and here we go. All right, all right. So we're back. So I'm gonna go around the horn again, and we're gonna uh, talk about your video. Talk about your the one video, or not video, but excuse me, the one photo that you sent up, and you allow me to share. So Walt, I think you were first. I'm gonna say you were first. So here we go. Let me see if I can get it up on here. So Walt, what you got for us, sir?
So I'm Walter C. Jernigan the third, and living your life being a third, especially while he was still alive, was always tough. So basically, I had a nickname growing up. But real quick, when I was about 14, 15 years old, I can't remember what happened, and but it was the worst thing that had ever happened to me in my life at that time, right? And I said, man, probably one of the dumbest things I've ever said in my life as I look back on it. I said, why did this have to happen to me? And my father said, who in the H are you? He said, let me tell you something, man. He said, you carry my name. And if you can't carry my name, then if it's too heavy for you to carry, then you need to change your name. That's what he told me.
Oh,
And then he said, which one of your friends would you rather call and have them go through this?
mm,
And at that point, I'm like, man, wasn't what I expected to hear. But I realized how selfish I was being at that point. And that's one of those things that always stuck with me. And every time I go through something, I think about that. And like he's been gone, man, 25 years, but it's like he's still here. And we favor and have a lot of the same mannerisms. And I'm, bowl in the league that he used to bowl in and all that, man. So it's still a joy to have conversations with people that knew him. I still run into people at the golf course who knew him and around town who knew him. So it's just always, he's always there, man. I'm gonna tell you, the memories, thank God, will always sustain me as far as it relates to my father. So that's the picture there. And he was born February 14th, so I don't have to tell you what he thought he was, right?
okay.
He thought he was a lover, man. So, there it is. Yeah, he thought he was Cupid himself. So that's what it is. So, yeah.
That's what he thought, huh?
Oh, man, he'll tell you, look, if you don't believe me, he'll tell you. He'll be the first to tell you. I was born February 14th. And he was in his retirement, he used to sell Avon, so he wasn't playing fair, man.
Oh man,
He was just not playing fair, man.
right.
Oh yeah, man. You meet a woman in public, man. He squirt the lotion in her hand, rub her hands, and it's like, oh, this guy, man. Yeah, he had all the cheat codes, man. So I've learned a lot from him, and I miss him.
I got you. All right, but thank you all for sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
So Sharon, I'll put you up next. You're right.
Everybody know I'm a crybaby. Yeah, my dad, he's dealing with dementia right now. So for a while, he didn't know who I was. And just a couple of months ago, he called my name and asked for me. So for the longest, like over a year, he didn't know who I was. But to have him to ask for me and call my name, that it's gonna make me cry. I don't want to cry. But he was in the hospital, and we finally was able to bring him home. So he's home, trying to nurse him back to health. But unfortunately, he won't be the drill sergeant, and the strong man that he used to be. And like I told him, I said, for 57 years, you took care of me, you covered me. So now it's my time to cover you.
Right, that's good stuff. But thank you for sharing that. And we definitely wasn't trying to make you cry. No,
I know. Look what I'm trying to makeup on. So
that's not what the show is all about. We're not trying to make people cry. That's not what it's about. So Echo, I'm gonna come to you if that's okay.
Okay.
All right. There we go. All right.
This is my favorite picture of me and my dad. I think I was 3, and we were at an amusement park, and that's what my dad was. He was fun. He always made sure that we had fun. Family vacations, and made a big deal out of Christmas and birthdays. And he just really was a good man and a great father. And unfortunately, he passed away when he was 50 and I was 18. So he's been gone 44 years. But it's just like I look at that picture and I'm right back there. So I had great memories of my dad.
Right. No, and thank you for sharing that. And that's really cool. That really is cool. To have great memories, and that's what it's all about. Don't look at it even all the sad times. It's the good times that you had. It's more than that. So Boogie time. See if we can get you up here. There it is.
That's just a couple weeks ago. What was it? Memorial Day? And that's my pizza loving, pizza grubbing father. We love our pizza together. We didn't have pizza that day because we had a cookout, but I don't know. Anytime I see my dad, I think of us like rubbing, getting pizza. Because I always have to, say this: New Haven, Connecticut pizza is the best. in the
Heard that before.
country. So yeah, but like I'm cheesing there. I think we probably were on YouTube or something, probably showing me something funny on his phone. He's a
Yeah.
really funny person. So like yeah, we're always laughing, simple stuff, but always having a good time. So yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Thank you for sharing that. I
Of
don't know
course.
about the New Haven pizza thing, but we all good.
Hey,
We
hey, 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 easy,
So,
man. You know how she is about her pizza now.
There you
you,
go.
I
you,
was saying there's a whole lot of people in New York and Chicago and everywhere else talking about what, but it's all good. It's all good.
they'll learn one day.
They'll learn one day. We have to go to New Haven to get a
You
pizza.
gotta go
Like,
to New
oh
Haven
man,
to
she
get a
was right.
slice,
She was
Jack.
right. Yeah,
There
You
you
gotta
go.
go to New
that's
Haven
it.
to get a slice, man. For
You're
sure.
like, wait a minute. Woogie was right. This pizza is awesome. That's it.
Uh-huh.
All right. All right, B, we're gonna put you up. What's up? How you going, Miss
Oh,
B?
That's my daddy about 5 years ago. He's wearing a shirt that says 1972, the year I was born. I'm old. But yeah, he's, believe it or not, over 70 and still jumping out of planes.
No.
Wow, my man.
Yeah.
My man.
So,
oh,
all good.
Yeah.
He's tough, man.
all
All
right.
right.
I
Okay.
love him a bunch. I don't get to see him as much as I'd like to, but we keep in touch.
All right.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
All right. No, well, thank you for even putting it up there and letting us share it today. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to him to be able to jump out of a plane at 70 years old.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real, for sure,
Oh,
for
he's
sure.
tough, man.
It's almost like we say those golfers. When you see a golfer that's out there playing at
Oh
80
man.
and 90 years old, like what?
Yeah.
And out driving you,
Out
it's even
driving you,
worse. Yeah,
tripping and putting the
yeah,
lights out
There's
on you. Yeah.
yeah. That's
there's
the
an
worst part.
airport in Gainesville, Texas.
Hmm.
It's right next to a golf course.
Mm,
I used to spend every other weekend right there
mm.
watching him jump out of planes while I'm watching people play golf.
Right, hey, that's a good combo right
Yeah,
there.
good
So
There
yeah,
you
combo
go.
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you miss a putt and you can blame it on the airplane. Hey,
On
there's
the
that
airplane
plane.
flying by. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kinda like me when I hear motorcycles go by, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Oh,
That's it. Had to be. All right. So look,
and
I know
Oh
who this
man.
is, but Walt,
Yeah,
who is this?
man.
Where was this guy, man? What was this guy?
Man, that's my man Fred. That guy there, just for you ladies who don't know. So I met Jack when I was 14, he was 8. His father and I became best friends like 5 years after that when I got my first job and we worked together. And when I tell you, I mean, I'm an only child. I got a few friends that were like big brothers, big sisters, but this is one of the guys that kept me out of trouble and basically called me on my bull and would tell me stuff I already knew. But that guy right there, something special to me because my whole life probably would have been different if it hadn't been for this guy right here. So
Yeah,
excuse me, but you know this guy here, hey Jack, you know this guy's near and dear to my heart, man. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Yeah.
and this is the guy that would call me dummy at least 3 times a day. You know what I mean? At least 3 times a day. You know, I thought I was Lamont Sanford. He called me big dummy so much. But yeah, this guy here, man, super smart, uh, very calm. Big Jack is a smaller version of him or a younger version of him, and could bowl and shoot pool, and and was a heck of a basketball player. And
Oh yeah,
I found out at the hard way at about a
yeah,
$25-$30 loss. So yeah, so
yeah.
that's my man Fred, old Freddie B, Freddie Bernard. Yes
Yeah,
sir, that's my man.
that is my father. Yep, and
Yeah,
he's on there. My father had me, or my mom had me young, and my father was just as young. So, my years of growing up, he was more of like I would say like a big brother or maybe an uncle or something like that. So we became real good friends in my adult years. So a lot of things that Walt can say, it's harder
man.
for me to say because he
Yeah,
wasn't that person to me. So it is Father's Day, and he always been. My mom taught me right to respect him. He was my father,
yeah,
and I would never call him out his name. We hung out, we done a lot of things, But to say he disciplined me or he was the one that put me on the right track. Matter of fact, what he did do for me, and again, it's not a bashing in any kind of way, is I looked at his life and said, "This is what I want to do different." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a be there with my kids. I'm a da 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 da. So I had all these other goals, but it was because of that. But as far as being a nice person and being a role model and like I say, hanging out and things like that, he was awesome, 100%. And I could
Yeah.
definitely say, much respect. Now he did pass, and it was sad to see him go. And definitely because I still drive down the road now and be thinking about something and with what would he say or what would, he had all
Yeah.
kinds of great advice, and
Yeah.
it's like, man, and I know a lot of his advice came from life lessons and things that he went through, and that big dummy was, don't do what I did. Don't do what I'm
Man.
doing, dummy. Do it to come better and come better than this. And that was
Man.
who he was. So I'm seeing even in the chat where other people are saying, Niecy Jackson said she loved that man to pieces. He was just that person. I mean, he had even him and my mom didn't get married and none of that stuff. But at the same time, he still had a key to the house. He was welcome all anytime that he came in, just because of the type of person he was. But that's what's up. So, but thank you all for sharing your moments with me and allowing me to share my time with y'all, because I think it was just a little different. I wanted to try something different as far as honoring the fathers on Father's Day, in a way where now we can see. And I seen that Nemo 504 is out there, and he made a comment, and I want to put that up there because that was one of the questions I had, and I got to go back and yeah, it's right here. So we're gonna put it up there. He said, "Sounds like some strong fathers. I didn't have one, but if I did, I would like them to have some of the features they showed and taught y'all. Sounds like good men. Everyone didn't have that father in their life, and that's where we talked about in the start of the whole show, or this segment of the show, where that the way society looks at it, that it's the mom, the mom, the mom, and then it's the dad. So we know that some fathers are awesome, and going around the circle, I heard awesome. I really
Yeah.
did, and it's so special to hear that, regardless the role that that person played or where they were. And even sometimes it's somebody that stepped in. Like me, I played a lot of sports, and I had a lot of coaches step in and be in that position. I have an uncle on my mom's side and my dad's side that I hang with and talk to if I have an issue, and they definitely have stepped up. My grandfather on my dad's side, because on my mom's side he was killed in the war, so I really never got a chance to meet him. But at the same time, some of the older men in my life was definitely in that position to be that father figure. Even teachers in school and all those different things, pastors. So many different people that can play a role in your life and help you get to that position. And then sometimes even the one that's in your life, and that's what I was saying, they give you an example of what to do, and it's up to you
To follow.
to which road you're going to take. I could be just like this person. I'm gonna be better than this person, and I'm hoping not to be worse than this person. I don't say worse, but I'm gonna strive to be more. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be this and that. And as we know, as you as you start saying these things, God will hold you to it. And you
Yeah.
thinking, all right, I'm gonna be the best parent ever. Nobody, because when we growing up, I'm gonna ask y'all this. Maybe I'm wrong. When you were growing up, did you say in your head, when
Oh
I
man.
become an adult, when
Oh
I
man.
become a parent, I'm gonna do this? Was
Dumbest
that
thing ever. Yeah.
In my
okay?
head,
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Oh my
I think
God.
I
Hey
said
man.
that out loud.
I
Okay.
knew, and look, let me
Yeah.
tell you something. I knew I was getting older because I figured my parents weren't getting any hipper or cooler. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And man, those lessons, and I think we can all attest to this, they stand true to this day. I
mm,
mean, just by the question you asked us when we first started this thing.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I've never been more wrong in my life. And oh yeah, and then we're not even gonna get into the disciplinary piece because I'm from an age where my mother and father divorced when I was 10. Me and my father were tight, and I was scared to death of him, because I knew he'd take me out, and that was at 14. I found that out with the punch to the solar plex trying to slap box him. But my mother, Oh yeah, my mother didn't play. I used to joke with her and Sharon. My mom had dementia too before she passed, but I used to mess with her and say, by the day's standards, you should be just coming home from the penitentiary for all the whippings I got, and I deserved them. And I deserved them. And it turned out, depending on who you talk to, okay, not too much dang Bramage, but I'm good. But
Look, back
yeah,
in them
man.
days, we got hit with everything.
Oh man, whatever was in thing, I'm like, man, and it's funny.
Whatever was in reach, you
Yeah,
got hit.
whatever was in reach. And it's funny because if I even see somebody like in a grocery store, I see a kid acting up, I'm like, it's as much as I used to get in trouble, it still didn't seem mean spirited. It didn't seem mean. It just felt like this is what's happening. Like, and this is a joke. And of course, you can't do this anymore. But I can't be the only one on this Zoom, on this call, on this YouTube call who has sat in the parking lot in 85, 90-degree weather in the car. It's been told don't move. Am I right? Am I the only one? It's
Nope.
just me.
Nope, you're not.
I'm like, man, but if you get out the car at the Walmart today and you see some kids in the car in the parking lot, man, you be calling the police.
Calling the police.
No, the sad part about this, Walton, and I got a picture, and I wish I could
Uh-huh.
find it very quick. There's a sign on the Walmart door to tell you to remember if you locked your kids or left them in the car.
Oh man,
It's like,
yeah.
did you forget your kids? Don't forget your kids.
Hey
I'm like,
man,
what?
when my friends start talking to me to this day, I mean, my mom's only been dead 3 years, but to this day, my friends, when we start talking about my mother, all we can talk about is, man, she did not play. Yeah, yeah. I mean, she would if I brought you into this world, I'd take you out where a person, Roberta Jernigan was her name. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I got
that was for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I mean, again, we're not trying to bash, well, not bash, but we're not trying to
Nah,
say
it's
we
just what it
gotta.
is.
I know my mom was. She was a disciplinarian of the relationship between my mother and my father, and a lot of it, I would even make the comment because my father wasn't there as much as he should. He didn't have the right to beat up on me like my mom did. But I would never say that,
But he
but I
sure
was
beat on
thinking
me.
it. But
He
my
sure beat
mom,
on me.
yeah. So and my mom, and look, and she in the chat, so she already know I'm gonna tell it, but she like called child abuse, and I'm gonna beat you till they
Oh
get
yeah,
here. And I'm like,
yeah.
hey,
Till they
this
get
something,
it. Yeah,
this.
yeah.
But at the same time, look, and I've said it 1,000 times, I deserved it. I
Oh
definitely
yeah,
know I
yeah,
did something
yeah,
that was the only way, and I was okay with it because
yeah.
she got hit, and what my mom started doing was taking the games away from me. So it's
Oh
like you
man.
can't play in the next game. So I'm
Ah.
like, beat me, get it over with, beat me, pull the belt out, get the weapon over with, so I can play. But she's like, nah, you're not playing the next game. Like, oh, you might as well just go ahead and kill me now, get it over with.
Yeah,
That's just fine.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
so
man. Yeah, it's funny what you remember as a kid, man. But yeah, hey, look, I think that with as fathers go back to the earlier point that you made, Jack,
yeah,
it's like as men, as young men, as boys into men, we are raised to learn how to provide, right? And women are raised to nurture, and that's just like it or not, that's society. We're culturally conditioned, right? But as men, we never expect to get extra credit for doing what we're supposed to do in the first place. But the acknowledgement of what we're doing and the recognition of that, the fact that what we do matters, I think as men is validation for what we do. And I
yeah,
mean, and it's kind of crazy. And I'm sure there's a psychologist out there that can put it better. But I just think all the guys that I know, we just go about doing what we do. I mean, Jack, you're a prime example of that. You just go about doing what you do. And it's not a problem until somebody probably tries to tell you that you don't. And that's when it becomes a problem for me as
yeah,
a
and
man.
that's the
Yeah,
worst. That to
yeah.
me, and that's the worst. And I've been married, divorced, remarried,
Mhm.
and I got kids from my first marriage. And the worst thing that came out of that, or the worst comment ever made, was, "I'm not going to let you see your kids.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
know.
have someone else fill your spot." And that just drove me crazy. So because me and you didn't get along, don't mean that my relationship with my kids is right there. They're
Yeah,
just as strong, and that was the one thing. So I know sometimes the men get a bad rap. Sometimes they don't. I'm not. I say this. I don't know. Maybe y'all have. Have any of y'all ever seen a Father's Day sale like Walmart, Target?
I put in the chat earlier, I was at Bath and Body Works yesterday, and they
Mm,
had all their men products on sale
okay.
for like $5.95 or something,
Okay.
uh, in honor of Father's Day.
That's
So
cool.
I hadn't planned on getting my son-in-law anything, but my granddaughter was with me, and I said, "Oh, they're on sale. You want to get your daddy something?" So
Mm.
we filled him up a bag and got that for him. But I was shocked that it was
Mm.
actually a Father's Day sale.
Oh,
Wow.
hey, that's
Yeah,
good. Hey, stepping
it's
up your
good,
game.
but
I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
Now that's what's up. That's what's up. So, and like I say, I don't want to bash, and I did have another question, and
Hmm.
so I'm gonna throw this one out, and then we can wrap this one up with this one. So, and if you don't have any kids, then well, here we go. Here's the question. Here you go. Has your view of fatherhood changed as you've grown older or become a parent yourself? So, when you were younger, you had like say my father was the drill sergeant, or my father was the Air Force seat ejector tester, I guess. I don't know why he jumping out that plane. I don't know, but it's okay. But has it changed since once you got kids? Did that view change of fatherhood? Or like I say, as a parent, like man, I guess my father was right, or maybe he wasn't.
Yeah.
You mean me?
It changed from the standpoint for me. Well, with daughter, you know, my whole and I was 19 years old, so my whole life changed as far as my outlook on anything I did. Was always would I want someone to do this to my daughter? You know what I
Mm,
mean? So that was always my perspective. Well, what would I tell her? What would I have her do? But as a father, uh, we still gonna do it my way. Let's get this clear, right? I mean, but I would explain to her. I want her to see why this idea is better.
mm,
Where my generation, not so much. It wasn't shut up because I said so, but it was very close. You know what I mean?
mm,
But as you want people to understand, if you're teaching somebody, just like with golf, Sharon, if you're teaching someone to play golf and you want them to do something, you want them to learn a lesson, it's better if they understand why it's better to punch out of the woods, why it's better to take a 8-7 iron out the rough and just get back in play than just going out there and with a 3 wood and trying to hack it 220 yards. You just had a tee shot for about 75 yards and then you want to make up 220 out the rough. It's not happening, So you want to have those conversations. So that's probably the one thing that changed for me
mm.
as a parent. And I mean I remember the first time I said, you know, back in my day, I'm like, oh Lord, I'm sounding just like them. And but again, those lessons hold true. It's kind of like 3 generations of women cutting the butt off the ham every time they bake a ham, only to find out and have the baby girl ask them why they cut the butt off the ham, only to find out that great grandma said her pan was too small. And nobody ever thought about to ask why they did these things.
Just did it.
As a so for me as a parent, I just try to make sure, and as a grandparent too, just understand this is why we do this. This is why we don't do this. These are the consequences. And at that point, you still gonna make your stupid mistakes. Lord knows I did, but I'm still here. And
Yeah.
but you can't say you don't know or you didn't
Mm,
know. I guess that's my
gotcha.
biggest thing. You can't say you didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
So
I
that's my
got you.
thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with you, Boogie, on this one. You're the next contestant. Go ahead.
How has my view on fatherhood changed?
Yeah, your views. Now that you're older. Now that you're older. So when you were younger, you probably had one view, but now that you're older.
Um, I don't know if it's really changed. Um, I think basically to piggy back off what I said earlier, I think that fathers should be, more appreciated, more valued. Especially now seeing like how we were talking about with in comparison to Mother's Day and just mothers, because fathers or just men period are different than women, you know what I mean? But they still contribute greatly to not even just as parents, but just to society as a whole, which is, you know what I mean? So I would say my view hasn't really changed, but I guess I would say I have a greater appreciation because though I'm close with my father, I'm really extra tight with my mom.
Yeah.
But just seeing other good fathers and just living life, I do have a larger, greater appreciation now that I'm older. And
Okay.
so that's how I would say it's changed.
I can respect that. I can.
Yeah.
Sharon, I'm gonna come up to you.
Mm. I don't think it changed. Just like Boogie said, I think I have more appreciation for it and I understand it better.
Right.
With me, being a parent, I understand how things are the way that they are. But when I was a kid, I didn't understand. But
Right.
I think I have more appreciation.
I got you. All right. I appreciate it. Echo. What about you?
I don't think it's changed my opinion of fathers. I think it changed my idea about how we should raise our children to love and respect their father, no matter the situation.
Mm,
Um, I was unfortunate to get divorced after 29 years, and my daughter was 17 at the time. And I never said one bad word about her dad. I wanted
mm,
her to have that relationship with her dad. And he and I had always talked about being grandparents, when our children had kids. And so when we got divorced, I thought that part of life was going away. But I wanted that for my daughter and my granddaughter. And
mm.
so we've figured out a way to work it out so that my daughter can have both her mom and her dad, and my granddaughter's got a grandma and a grandpa.
Right.
So I think it's up to us as women to teach our children that, it doesn't matter. Nobody's perfect and nobody has a perfect life. But if that is your mom or your dad, they love you and you should love them. But we shouldn't put kids in the middle of our adult
Mm,
relationships and make the
right.
kids have to choose one or the other or have some kind of feeling about it. And I made sure I stressed to my daughter when she got married that, her husband is not going to do everything exactly the way she does it when it comes to the kids. But let him be their dad. Let them learn his way of doing things and develop that relationship with him, even though it's going to be totally different than her relationship. And my granddaughter, you ask her something about her daddy. I love him and he works. My daughter works too, full time as a school teacher, but that isn't the only thing, that or the main thing that she thinks about when you ask her about her mama, you know.
Mm,
And for this Father's Day, I was having her make a Father's Day card for her dad, and she's writing on it. And now she's only 3.5, so she's scribbling on it, but she's saying, I love my daddy. He works so hard. I love to play with my daddy, and he likes to eat popcorn. And she said, and I love to take his popcorn.
uh,
And I was like, even though it's not the same as the relationship she has with her mom, she has her own unique relationship
mhm,
with him as he does with her. And that's how it should be. I think as mothers, we want, that perfect little picture. And so if the man or the husband doesn't do exactly what we want them to do, we try to either make compensation for that or try to steer the child's attention away from that. Like, well, but this and no, let them see who that person is. They're smart. They're going to know, and like when I got divorced with my daughter being 17, I wouldn't have to tell her. We didn't have to sit her
Right.
down and say, we're getting divorced. It's not working out or whatever, or that we loved her regardless. He was like,
right.
hey, if y'all don't want to be together, you're still my parents.
Move on.
And
Yeah.
that's how it should be. That's
Yeah.
not how society makes us feel that
Right.
we're supposed to do when we break up with someone, that and there's kids involved. So
Right.
that I never knew any of that. I just loved my dad because he was a good man and he loved me. But as I've grown into an adult, I can see that those relationships aren't going to just happen on their own.
Right.
You've got to have some encouragement. You've got to have somebody, saying, look, this is your father or this is your mother, and build those relationships.
No, and I'm agreeing, and I see someone in the chat made a comment. Unless that person is abusive, so
Well,
now if
true,
that, yeah,
true.
right, yeah, if that person's being abusive, or we have to be a parent and then
Yes,
definitely step
yes.
up and get in that fit. And so B, uh, not that you're last, but B, what you got?
It's okay. Um, okay, well, with my dad, it changed when my mother passed away about 5 years ago. Um, it's crazy that it's taken me this long, but when I was going through her stuff to find all of her paperwork and everything, I found a letter that my father had written to my mother when they were fighting about child support or something. I was still a kid, and I read the letter, and my mother, she wasn't all that great about keeping her mouth shut. She was pretty upset with it. So I would hear things. And of course, I formed my opinion from a lot of that. And I felt really bad for it when I read this letter, because in this letter it said, don't do this to Charlene. Don't hurt Charlene. That's me, by the way. Sorry. And that gave me a completely different view of my dad.
Wow.
I mean, completely, because it went from every other weekend seeing him to maybe a couple weeks out of the year total. So my parents were divorced when I was 4,
Mm.
and it was kind of crazy. I lived with my grandmother a lot, um, but my dad, he was always there when I needed him, and that helped me look back and see that that is exactly what was going on then.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, look, I really want to thank you all of the panel,
Yes.
for being open and willing to share the stories. I mean, we couldn't have it a show where it's all rainbows and lollipops, but every show is not like that, and every story is not like that. And because of that, I want, we dig a little deep, and having a panel of different people with different situations and circumstances and different levels, it makes it even that more valuable to me. And I thank you. And that's what the Iron Sharpening Iron show is all about: growing and being stronger and striving together. So I want to thank you all for your support. Truly, truly, all of y'all have been a blessing to me. And Sharon, Christian, thank you for being the guest on the show and helping us learn more about Diamonds on the Green, and a safe place for those who want to play golf. Your link, and we'll definitely drop the link again in the
Yes.
chat for those who might have missed the beginning, so that they can check you out if hopefully you're in a state near them or in a location near them. And if not, we can travel, and someone can travel and maybe catch one of your tournaments or rounds or anything. And I'm super excited for you for being here with us on the show. And Sharon, since you are the guest, we're going to say, is there anything you want to share before we close the show out, before we leave today?
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me on your show and sharing your platform. It's an honor. You did mention that if anyone is interested, maybe we don't have a chapter in the city or state where you are, but look, just give me a call or shoot me over an email or text, and I will get one started for you. We do have a website, which is www.diamondsonthegreen.com. We're on social media, Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, all of that. So again, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be here and share my story.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you again.
Thank you,
So
Sharon.
everyone that's in the chat, we thank you all for hanging out here. I know we got 3 different channels going. I see B's channel up, Echo's channel's up, and of course Big Jack's Storytime channel was up. So all of y'all who came to visit today, thank you. For all the fathers that's out there, happy Father's Day to you. Hope you had a wonderful day. I know we're almost coming to an end, and it's time for us to go back to work and all those other things that people got to do. But we thank you for being here, and it's been truly a blessing. For all the people from the Diamonds on the Green and your chapters out there, who continue to do the hard work that you're doing. You're doing a wonderful job for the women, the men, and the youth. So you're doing some awesome work out there. So we are definitely supporting
yeah.
you, and we'll
Salute.
continue to work with you. And Sharon, before I close this out, if you can hang over a little bit after. I'm sorry, I said Sharon. Woo, Sharon. I told you, I knew it. Look, I did good, dude. I did an hour and 44 minutes.
I'm glad you know it.
Sharon.
Woo, man. Hey,
Look,
Sharon.
everybody was about to get hit with a straight.
I'm
I
like, oh Lord.
apologize. So
Hey,
Sharon,
as
100%.
his attorney, I'm sure he didn't mean it. As his attorney, he
I was
didn't mean
trying
it.
to close out.
Oh
Sharon, if
man.
you can hang over with us for a little bit, we appreciate it. And I echo Boogie Time. Thank you for being on the panel. And I know it was a late
No problem.
reach out, but as usual, y'all always there. And I appreciate your support all the time. So thank you.
No
And if
problem.
anything I could do for you, your shows and anything else, let me know. And
Same
you
here.
know I'm there. You know I'm there. 100%.
Love you, ladies.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Yeah.
me, guys.
So I'm Echo and
Thank you very much.
Echo and Boogie. I'm gonna pull y'all off the screen and thank you again for hanging out with us.
Bye,
And,
No
everyone.
problem. Bye,
yeah,
guys.
no
Great
problem.
show.
Have a
Again.
good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And for everyone out there, have a good weekend. The rest of your weekend, have a good week, and we'll see you Wednesday for the next episode of the Sharpening Iron Show. So thank you all, and we talk to you later. All right, bye bye.